What an embarrassment. And what a colossal waste of time, too. Not only was it a complete waste of time, it was also a complete waste of taxpayer money, which are two things that Uncle KC cannot stand. Wasted time, wasted money. It's one of the reasons that I am so supportive of what Elon Musk and the Trumper are doing right now. They are getting rid of the waste, cutting 50% of the Department of Education. I'm good with that. Hell, why stop at 50%? Go ahead and eliminate the entire department and send those resources to the states where they actually belong. Why are bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. telling people in Topeka, Kansas, how to educate their children? There are so many serious problems that congressional leaders should be focused on right now. The never-ending war in Ukraine, a carton of eggs rivaling the price of a carton of cigarettes, and you want to end a congressional hearing over the crime of misgendering? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know about you guys, but I prefer to spend my valuable time focusing on things that actually matter. I am a big picture thinker. I rarely get stressed. I rarely worry about anything. If I am worried about something, it is something major. My wife, on the other hand, she is very detail oriented. That's why we make such a great team. If eggs go from $10 to $12, she's going to worry about it, even though those $2 have absolutely no impact on our quality of life. My wife is going to worry about it. Me, I'm not even looking at the prices at the grocery store. I'm looking to get in and get out as fast as possible. Because my time is worth far more to me than the couple of dollars I could save by going to Walmart and buying great value eggs. I can't stand wasted time. I often look at the 10 or 15 years after college as a complete waste of time, even though I did learn a lot. I was working at jobs that I hated. I was bored. One of the main reasons that I didn't like those jobs, besides the fact that I don't like taking orders from other people, it's because I never had a job that was challenging. Once I learned everything, it just became routine. YouTube is challenging. Every day is a new story. Every day is a new topic. Finding ways to keep it fresh, finding ways to make things entertaining and relatable, and doing it 3 times a day. It's tough. It's tough. But one of the reasons that I enjoy doing this so much, I never feel like I'm wasting time. When I finish every afternoon, I feel like I've actually done something, which is more than I can say about our congressional leaders yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, there was a congressional meeting of the European Subcommittee. Well, KC, what the hell is a Europe Subcommittee? I have no idea. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the next pile of waste that Elon Musk sends to the WNBA dump for processing. The Foreign Affairs website, it gives a brief description of this Europe Subcommittee, but the description seems to be a bunch of words that say or mean nothing. If I had to guess, the description was probably written by Cackling Cam Harris. Keith Self. He is a Republican from Texas. He was the chairman of the meeting yesterday. He is the dude responsible for calling roll and making sure everyone is identified by their proper name and pronouns. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm here, but you got my name wrong. I'm choosing to identify as AOC LGBT. As he was going through the roll call, Keith Self made his way to Sarah McBride, and his improper use of pronouns, it caused Deacon Bill Keating from Woke United Methodist to have a complete meltdown. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about the recent surge in NBA ratings. We also discussed this ongoing catfight between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Last night, Stevie made an appearance with Gilbert Arenas, and he finally unleashed on LeBron James. Stephen A. Smith finally realized that he was in the right. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and check it out. Now, allow me to introduce you guys to Sarah McBride. Sarah McBride is a member of the House of Representatives from the state of Delaware. Who knows? Maybe Sarah's been invited to Johnny B. Biden's Delaware dungeon to engage in a friendly battle of Dungeons and Dragons. The reason Sarah is so beloved by deacons at Woke United Methodist is because the election to the House accomplished a first. And you guys know how much the deacons love a first. Sarah was born August 9th, 1990, as Tim McBride. Last year, Tim became the first former man to be elected to the House of Representatives. This is progress! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! Back in January, 2 weeks after new representatives were introduced to the House, Congresswoman Nancy Mace introduced a bill that would ban transgender women from using the women's restroom in Capitol Hill. Now, of course, this sent feelings of fake outrage throughout the mainstream media. This is outrageous! This is transphobia! Republicans are targeting Sarah McBride! This is so unfair! The mainstream media tried to turn Sarah McBride into the ultimate victim. But you know how Sarah responded? I'm not here to fight about bathrooms. I'm here to represent the people of Delaware. I will comply with this demand. Fair enough. Fair enough. At least Sarah McBride wasn't trying to be the ultimate victim. There was not going to be a fight in Congress over the damn bathroom. Yesterday, Keith Self was introducing the participants in this Europe Subcommittee. Instead of calling people by their names, he formalized the introductions by including Mr. or Mrs. Obviously, this represented a real problem when it came to introducing Sarah McBride. Keith Self chose to introduce Sarah McBride by referring to the pronouns that were given at birth. Sarah McBride was ready to let it go. But Representative Bill Keating from Massachusetts, he wasn't having it. He interrupted the meeting and he proceeded to admonish Keith Self for the heinous crime of misgendering. As a result, Keith Self, he ended the meeting before it even started. Watch it for yourself.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Why are we wasting time fighting over pronouns? Why are we wasting time fighting over Mr. and Mrs.? Last I checked, pronouns were learned in kindergarten. Here we have an aging fossil complaining over 2- and 3-letter words. The meeting was ready to proceed, but Billy Keating, he just refused to move on. That emotional meltdown from Bill Keating, it was absurd. Billy, why are you so mad? You're failing to understand that Sarah used to be a man. I have never seen a balding grandfather this upset over pronouns. Billy must have forgotten to take his Metamucil before the meeting yesterday. I guess he wanted his moment. I guess Bill Keating wanted his moment in the spotlight. I don't know about you guys, but I had never heard of him before yesterday. He pretended to be outraged. He pretended to be Sarah McBride's knight in shining armor, I guess so he could be recognized. If Sarah McBride had a problem with Keith Self in his introduction, there was a microphone sitting right there on the table. All Sarah McBride had to do was speak into it. If Tim McBride wants to identify and transition to Sarah McBride, fine. No one cares. But that doesn't mean everyone else is required to acquiesce to your demands. If Uncle KC woke up tomorrow morning and started to identify as Auntie KC, does that mean my sister is going to sit my nephews down and explain to them that their uncle is now their aunt? Knowing my sister, she's probably going to keep my nephews as far away as possible. Do I think Keith Self could have handled this a bit better? You know, honestly, I kind of see both sides of this. My biggest problem with what happened yesterday is you wasted taxpayer money. I am big on time and place. If Sarah McBride was trying to become Miss America, it's always the time and always the place. If Sarah McBride was fighting over the bathrooms, if Sarah McBride was trying to become an All-American in women's college basketball, that would be a problem. At the same time, though, do I think Keith Self could have avoided all this by just removing the Mr. or Mrs. from the roll call and just calling everyone by name? Yeah, maybe. Keith Self, he was being petty. He knew what he was doing. He came into the meeting yesterday picking a fight, but look, I don't blame Keith Self. Hell, Sarah McBride even made a joke of it by referring to him as Madam Chair. The only one in the meeting who pretended to have a problem was Billy Keating. The Democrats just don't get it. This is your biggest problem. This is your biggest disconnect with the vast majority of the American people. They have pushed things too far. People have run out of patience and tolerance. We are tired of being told that we have to sacrifice the truth to tolerate feelings. We are tired of being told that we have to accommodate the teacher who is choosing to identify as Garfield by providing a litter box under the desk. If you want to identify as Garfield at home, fine. But that doesn't mean I'm paying for the litter box. That doesn't mean that the lunch lady in the cafeteria has to start serving kibbles and bits. The deacons have pushed things to the point of absurdity, and now people are pushing back. That's what Keith Self was doing yesterday. He was pushing back. It might not have been the best time or the best place, but I damn sure understand the frustration. Give me your thoughts on this, though. Keith Self refers to Sarah McBride as Mr. McBride, and Bill Keating has an emotional meltdown. I'm not even going to pose a question. Just sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.